And we are live. Hello, everybody. Just because it has been a while, please let me know if there are any technical difficulties you experience. Hello, Jay. Hey, everybody. So I guess we just wait for some seconds until everybody has joined, and then we're gonna start with the big box right here. Is audio okay? Well, I don't know, it's probably as curly as it ever was, but I should go to the barber soon. Hey, so audio is good, image is sharp, that is great. So let me see. Okay, so we have already gathered quite a crowd right here. Hey, Chris. All right, so I'm happy to have you here on this Saturday afternoon or Saturday night or Saturday morning, wherever you are. Today's topic is going to be the CR-10S, which, well, GearBest has sent me again, I really want to take a look at the machine, especially since I was working with the normal CR-10 now for quite a while, had some problems, modified it and stuff like that. And we'll see what is really upgraded on this machine and how it performs. Hello to India. All right, so I guess we gonna dive right in. So if you guys are hearing me, let's take the most dangerous tool we have in the shop, the X-Acto knife, and cut the box open. I haven't opened the box, so I hope everything is in there and everything is also in one piece. Ugh. All right, there we go. Let's maybe change to the second camera, which is totally out of focus. There we are. And let's take a look at it. Yeah, Paul, Brett. Oh, sorry. For everybody who didn't activate the bell icon, do that, because otherwise you're gonna miss streams and new videos, which are hopefully coming out more regularly right now. Okay, so what do we have in here? The first thing which I already noticed is that there aren't any sorry, no. Maybe there are inserts in the machine, but I can't see them right now. So what we have right here is the print pad. It is really nicely secured right here in the box. So there are all these cutouts with foam. And let's see how we are able to get this out of here. Okay, so this is the first layer. This is the first layer with more or less the y-axis or the base of the printer. I'll just put this aside and we take a look at the next layer. Okay. So in the second layer, what we're having, and again, so the assembly of the normal CR-10 has already been a while ago, so I don't exactly remember how well it was packed, but this looks really sturdy and fine, so it survived the shipping from China quite well, as far as I can judge it at the moment. So we have the electronics box right here, X-axis with extruder, fan and stuff like that, a roll of painter's tape for the print bed, a box with accessories where we maybe have a sample of filament and some other things inside. So assembly instructions right here. The insert I was just well talking about, so we can do that later. I guess this right here is the filament runout sensor, which is also new for the CR-10S, where I'm actually really looking forward to. And what else do we have in here? So normal European power plug, Schuko-Stecker. This is, I guess, for mounting the Z-axis, Bowden coupler, another nozzle, another end stop right here, USB cable, so the usual stuff, and this pokey bit right here. I don't know, I guess there are already quite a lot of people who have injured themselves with this thing, but this is a small needle which you can use to clean your nozzle if it's clogged. Okay, so also let's put this aside and take a look at what's left in here. So we already had the electronics box, and I guess I'll just take it out and put it aside for the next steps. So this is the CR-10 with the 300 by 300 by 300 build volume. So not the bigger one. It's again, well, one of my largest printers I have, or the largest printer I have, together with the normal CR-10. And let's take the gantry out, which is stuck quite well in here. Let's see. Well, yeah, Simon, please stick to English, otherwise you won't get anything to eat later. Okay, this was the electronics box. So I crashed the electronics box, but I think it's gonna be fine. If it survives shipping from China here to Germany, it should also be fine. Just getting down on the floor. All right. So shipping took, for me, 4 days or something like that. GearBest, they always ship their stuff, at least to me, via DHL, and this works very well. And well, I don't have so customs. Usually DHL is handling customs, so you will be needing to pay, I think, the 90% of import tax here in Germany. But it usually works quite well. For everybody who is buying one of these printers, I just would definitely not recommend using the most cheap shipping option, because this will take ages. This will take ages and you don't know where it ends up. DHL, they're usually handling customs and stuff like that, so they get to your door and charge you for that. So, but yeah, I get these machines for free, so I don't know how normal shipping works. Okay, so I guess we just take a look at the manual and follow the steps which are in here. So this is Chinese and English, and doesn't look too bad. Let me see. I think this almost looks like, yeah, this is still the manual for the normal CR-10. So I guess there isn't a really big difference between the two, besides the second Z-axis. But we will find out. So packing list, this is just for cosmetics. Yeah, the Prusa is cooking something really nice today. But we will need to wait until we make our first sample print. And I've actually modded my Prusa to directly have a temperature sensor in the pot that I can directly set the temperature, and the Prusa is perfectly holding the temperature for my sous vide bath. Okay, so what's it saying at first? Installation steps. Number 1, remove the thin film and put the lead screw into the bottom of the coupling. So I guess they are talking about the Z-axis. So I'll just get this on the table. There we are. Okay, so what we can already see, so we do not now only have one lead screw, we have 2 lead screws right here, and the coupler is actually different. So the old ones, they were the ones with the spiral, and actually on my old machine this one was broken, so they seem to have changed that. I don't know how good they are, and if they have more slack with the rubber parts here in the middle. But yeah, we'll see. Mr. Yelly, no, I did actually not do any PID tuning for the pots. The stock settings for the bed work quite well, at least for now. So I haven't been cooking with this for too long, but yeah, we'll find out. All right, so we put it out of the box. Let's get the snippers and remove the zip ties, which were there for shipping reasons. So the packing is really well made, because they are supporting the trapezoidal screws, so that they don't get bent. They nicely save everything or secure everything with these zip ties. Does it come with a roll of filament? Yeah, it actually does. It is not the biggest one. It is probably around like 250 grams of PLA filament, but this will at least get you started. I haven't been printing with the other roll I already have from the other CR-10, so I don't know how the quality is, but usually right now PLA filament is fine. You can't really screw it up that much. Hugo, I guess I need to take a look at the heat bed later, but I think the new heat bed should be isolated for quicker heat up times, because this was also something which really bothered me on the old machine, that even heating the heat plate up to 55 or to 60 degrees took ages, and that's just uncomfortable. All right. So they are saying that we shall tighten the lead screws, but they seem to be quite tight. So I think this step is already done. So we'll just leave it as it is. Okay, next step. Preparing base. Open the packing box, take out all parts. That's something which we already did. Compare to picture 3. These are the installation parts. Take out install parts from toolbox. So this is our toolbox. Let's get to the second camera, toolbox. And for the installation, we need these parts right here. They are actually to tighten the, or to assemble the Z-axis to the base. So wouldn't I recommend some kind of filament nuts on the CR-10? So honestly, I have almost purely been printing PLA on my other CR-10. It is able to reach 100 degrees for the bed after quite a while, so you are able to print ABS. If you get into more technical materials, it might, then the problem might be the temperature of the hot end, because I'm not 100% sure, but I think this hot end only goes to 175 degrees, and that might be not enough for like polycarbonates and maybe even some nylons, but don't quote me on that. And then just as Jay just mentioned, so flexible filaments, even if they are printable on that machine, but only really slow, and due to the Bowden setup, you will not get the greatest printing results when printing flexible filaments. Okay, so let's follow the assembly steps. Okay, it's really short. Connect the base. Okay, so actually the only thing we need to do is connect this thing right here to the base. So let me also get the base right here on the table. Sorry, 275 degrees. I think is the maximum temperature, but we can actually check that later. So just give me a second. Okay, well, I should have probably put this to the side before, but yeah, that's all right. Okay, so this is the base. And let's take a look at the heat bed, and I think I have seen some insulation, which is great. Because, well, insulation doesn't only help you with the heat up time, but it will also save you electricity costs in the end. And if you are like me, living in Germany, we pay like almost 30 cents per kilowatt hour. So doing some energy saving on such a big heat bed might save you some bucks on the long run. Video still fine? Please tell me if there is something wrong. I'm not streaming over Wi-Fi anymore. Today I finally plugged myself into my normal router, so I think this shouldn't be a problem today. Okay, let's just turn this over. So also something really nice, what I can directly notice, is that they added a strain relief on the heat bed, and this was a problem on the old machine, because the wires were just dangling around in the back, and especially if you had the printer next to a wall, they were bending all the time. And I guess lots of them have already failed, and due to the stress relief, at least the soldering joints shouldn't be a problem now anymore. Taking a look at the other side, we can see the insulation. So there is quite a thick insulation pad below the heat bed. It's not on the whole surface, but it covers like 80 or 90% of everything, and that should significantly help us with heating time. And this is fine. So everything is made out of aluminum extrusions. The bells look really good. The bed has some play. I guess we need to tighten it a little later. But otherwise, it's okay so far. All right. Yeah. Let's follow the manual. So let's see. So there should be some M5 by 25 screws in this bag. Don't want to lose everything. Okay, so these are the screws. We need to tighten everything. There are some aluminum shavings on here, but I think that's fine. So let's see, how shall we start? I guess I have to put it on its side, and then we can fix everything. But let me get my wrenches. Okay, this is fine. So this will go this way, and the gantry, which I didn't remove all the zip ties yet, so need to do that now. Raphael, what are you speaking about concerning the Z-axis? Where do I need to pay attention? Okay, so this goes in here. So I have added one of these lock nuts below the bolt. So let's slide the first one in and let's just tighten it hand tight, just that it just doesn't fall apart anymore. Yeah, so Raphael, if you can see in the back, I also have a CR-10. It is okay. I had also some issues in the beginning, but still it was quite easy to assemble. There are some tuning things which you need to do later, and there are plenty of upgrades around. But all in all, it's not the worst printer, to be honest, and especially for the price. The concern I'm always having is that if I own such a big printer, I want a big print parts, and the extruder is just not made for printing fast and printing also with bigger nozzles. For this reason, I upgraded the other one with the Titan Aero hot end, because this is just way better suited for this purpose. Okay, so this is now just hand tight. I probably get one of the wrenches out of the box to properly tighten everything in the end. Okay, let's just put this right here. So there's also a bag of tools included in the box. If you don't have anything at home and well, even not the most basic ones, it should enable you to assemble everything without needing to go to the hardware store. Okay. This is good. Yeah, guys, please stick to English, because also my Spanish, well, I don't know any Spanish. No. Yeah, I guess this is fine. This is just compressing the lock washers a little more. So, all right. Another thing which I just have noticed, let's see if we can capture that with the other camera, is that we sorry. I have a new camera setup. That's not the best. Okay, so there is a cover over here. There is a cover over the stepper which is for the x-axis. I don't know why they put it here. Either it's for saving parts, because this is actually an injection molded part. I don't know, maybe somebody got his finger stuck in here. I don't know. Yeah, let me know. Okay, so let's continue. Yeah, about the concern about being it being backwards. No, all the steppers actually go to the back. On the base, the back is more or less marked by the stepper right here. And the C-axis motors are right here, the extruder motor is right here, and for the X-axis we have the motor right here. Guys, please stick to English. Okay, yeah, let's continue with the script. So we have fixed the gantry, and now we need to install the T-blocks. Those are these ones. And maybe also something interesting for everybody who will be doing that for their first time. When I assembled my other CR-10, at first I did not know that you are able to slide in these T-nuts just without having everything apart. But it's actually way easier. And these T-nuts are, damn it. What's chat doing? Hi Hill CT. Yeah, I'm happy that I inspired you. It's bad if the mic is not working, but I'm happy to have you here. So I don't know if this is your first assembly of a printer, but maybe you can use the knowledge to later continue your stream. Okay, so I have just loosened the T-nuts slightly, that we can slide it in here and then fix everything in place. I don't know if these would actually even be necessary, because with the extrusions the setup is really sturdy from the beginning, but well, better be safe than sorry. Okay. Yeah, take another slot. So I actually was also already scared that Tom might be doing a stream today, because then all of you guys might have rather maybe watched Tom do some stuff than me, but he hasn't started yet, so yeah, it's still me here. Okay, so on the one side, the T bracket is just for making everything sturdy. On the other side, the T bracket also features the end stop for the x-axis, which we will be assembling now. Yeah, we have tightened that. Oops. So to be honest, the printer looks quite sexy without the inserts in this all black. So I guess, I don't know if I will even be adding them, because at least on some axes, the inserts which go in here, they slide against, for example, the x-axis and screw up the performance of your printer. And you don't want that to happen. So again, just for clarification, I did not order that printer. The printer was sent to me by GearBest. There are lots of debates about GearBest. If they are sending me stuff, it takes like 3 to 4 days to arrive to my door. So this is great. And they use DHL, at least here in Germany, which is also fine. But I don't have any experience in ordering something at their facility all by myself. So yeah, GearBest is a thing. You can also now get CR10 printers at Amazon if you are looking for that. And if the sellers are in your country, you don't have problems with import tax and stuff like that. So they will be more expensive, but you will have not that much hassle, because there are quite some people around who had problems with printers being shipped from China. Sometimes they get lost. Sometimes you have problems when you want to import them and pay the import taxes and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind, that Amazon, or there are also probably some eBay sellers which are located in your country, are also an option for buying this printer. Is it worth buying Simplify 3D? So to be honest, I'm a huge fan of Simplify 3D, because you can change so many settings and you can use different processes for doing big studies on the printer. I am not so happy that they are kind of not continuing developing it at the moment. Yeah, I don't know. It always depends what you want to do. If you have a good profile for Slicer or for Cura, the print quality is also probably going to be the same. Okay, so the bracket is right here. Let's see, where do we continue? Sorry. They actually did not stop the development, but they are really slow on developing at the moment. And this is, I don't know, you pay $150 for the software and you are expecting that they gonna release new things quite soon, but at the moment it's not working. The only thing where Simplify 3D is really worth buying, if you have complex models where you need lots of support structure. The support structure itself is really nice and simplified 3D, and you can add support structure where it needs to be, and well, just delete it where it's not necessary. And this is a big plus, which cannot be done in Cura or in in Slicer. Okay, so we have fixed the brackets, insert the pipe. So I guess we are already almost done with the assembly process. So the thing what they are asking for at the moment is that we insert the the feed pipe, which is the Bowden tube, into the feeder. And I will be doing that, but there is some dirt in here. So yeah, just put this in here. And these are the cables. And that's basically it for the assembly process. So okay, let's see. I think we'll just get the electronics box, put the spool holder on the electronics box, and then plug in all the wires. Yeah, we have to tighten some of the rollers because the bed is really wobbly at the moment. The extruder is fine and it's working. It's running really smooth, but the bed is, well, yeah, not usable in this state. So let's clean everything up. Okay, so I guess you're able to see this. I'll get the electronics box. Yeah, there are quite a couple of slicers who are catching up, and I also think that Prusa, with their Prusa control, they are doing a quite good job. And I don't know, I have the feeling that they will be implementing well, manual supports quite soon. I don't know. I would hope that they would do that, because this would be more competition for Simplify, and they might also continue developing their software further. Okay, so the spool holder is directly on the electronics box, but the threads which are on here are, yeah, they are filled with paint, so it's not that easy. Yeah, there is a QR code right here for the I guess Creality Facebook page. Okay, so another thing which I have heard about the CR-10S is that they have upgraded the board and the software in the printer. So the board now features the connector for the filament runout sensor, and it does now include a bootloader, so flashing custom Marlin firmware isn't a problem, or shouldn't be a problem with this machine. I guess that I'll check that out quite soon, because just the recent release of Marlin, it's really good, and I also want to have the custom Marlin running on that machine, as I also have it already running on my other CR-10, the modded one. Okay, so on the harness right here, we have several wires and they are all labeled with these yellow clips. So yeah, you see these clips right here. For example, this one says Z, so you should directly know where they need to be plugged in. Okay, so there is a long cable for the Z axis. Which is probably for the other side. And let's see, and let's just clarify that we don't miss anything. This is Y and Y. Why does it say Y? Okay. Let's maybe just start. So this is the first one. It says Y and Y. A bit confusing, but just on the size of the connector, you can directly see that this is for the stepper motor, and the other one is for the end stop. Okay, so first one's in. Yeah, we will do these ones in the end. So this harness has 3 wires. So this is X, end stop, and the extruder. So these ones, they go in here. Numero uno. And don't mix everything, don't mix it up. So X, this goes in here. Okay, I think this is fine. And the last one is for the end stop, which this is okay. So the end stop needs to be connected in here, and with the new cover, well, if your fingers are too thick, I guess it's probably hard to put that in there. Ignore my chat. So I actually don't know what the temperature of the bed of the Prusa currently is, because I have disconnected the bed temperature sensor and put a thermistor directly into the water bath using this channel, and this is set to 62 degrees Celsius, which is, I did a small calibration. It should equal a water temperature of 56 degrees, so a really nice medium steak, which we might get quite soon. Okay, where do we continue? So this just says break the material check line. I don't know what that means, but I think this is probably for the filament runout sensor. Yeah, so this goes in here. I really need to check how this is. Okay, this is just slid on. Okay, not the worst. Okay, so this just slides on here. Yeah, I think the filament runout sensor is a really nice nice upgrade for the machine, because if you're printing big models and you are not 100% sure if your filament is enough for the print, this might save you quite some trouble. But I don't know how that works, and none of my printers already have that feature, so we'll test that out later. Okay, so Z, and this right here is also Z. So we have 2, well, harnesses for the Z axis. The shorter one, which also includes the end stop, which goes on this side right here, and the long one goes on the other side. Okay, so I think you can also connect a filament runout sensor to Octoprint, so directly to the Raspberry Pi, which then would work. I use Octoprint quite a lot for my Prusa, but I haven't been using it so far for the CR-10. So usually I really just directly print from SD card. So the filament sensor should work there. So one thing which I don't like about the setup is that you have all of these wires right here in the back just dangling around, and they can get trapped somewhere, and I don't know. So to make this look even nicer, or to have a nicer printer, I would really prefer to have the electronics box somewhere, for example, below the printer, and then nicely routed wires directly to the box, because this is, it's just, it takes up quite a lot of space. What? Donations are disabled. Why are donations disabled? Wait a second. Donation settings. Just give me 1 second. Okay, I think donations should be enabled now. I have Streamlabs running for the first time now, because I think it's quite nice, because everything you donate is 100% going into my pocket, and not YouTube does get a 30% cut, like with the how do you say, with the super chats. So if you want to donate something, use Streamlabs rather than the super chat, and it helps me out. Benny, what do you mean with screaming? Do you mean that when you are running your Z-axis, that you get this loud crying noise from like vibrations in the axis, or are you talking about something else? Okay. So last thing is just that we need to plug in the aerospace or aircraft style connectors to the back of the electronics box. They have a small notch on the inside, so you can't screw up the polarity. Okay, second one, and I guess we are all set. Okay, yeah, I guess we are all set. If you want to do some cosmetic things, you can add the inserts into the rails, but we don't do that. We rather need to take a look at the print bed, because this is still really wobbly. But there are some eccentric nuts below the print bed which we can tighten, and there should be, there are tools for that included. Hi to Spain, hi to Bangkok. Okay. Yeah, thank you for the thumbs up. I don't know where we actually stand at the moment, so 140 people are watching. This is nice, but I don't see any other stats at the moment. Okay. So I'll just use this tool and tighten up the nuts below the table. Let's see. Okay. You need to be you need to pay attention that you don't over tighten the rollers, because otherwise they will wear out prematurely. So yeah, I go from roller to roller, and if you are able to turn the roller by hand, you know that they are not pre-tensioned properly. So then just rotate the eccentric nut a little bit and see if, yeah, now it has drag. And the third one, see. No, the third one is not grabbing yet. See. No, come on. Okay, I think now it's fine. So, if we move this thing, this is just the flex of the rollers, but this is totally fine. It moves quite smooth, that's also okay. The x-axis is tight, so there is no need tightening it right here. And these rollers, they are all also okay. All right, perfect. Okay, what I'll be doing at first is I'll remove the piece of glass which is on the print bed, and we'll also check if the piece of glass is flat, because there are quite a couple around who have the problem that their piece of glass which came with their CR-10 is totally crooked. Okay, number one. And number two. Okay. Where are we? There we are. Okay. Yeah, let's just tighten it a little, and then I'll take a ruler and we'll look if it's straight or not. So, yeah, let's see. It's not like perfectly flat, but the bed of my Prusa is way worse. Okay, no, this is fine. So the piece of glass which was delivered with my machine is totally flat. I guess. So I'm not a huge fan of the painter's tape. What I'll be doing, and what I really like about, or what really works well on these glass beds, which are also removable, is this print adhesion spray. It's called from a Printer Pro, I think Austrian company. And I also use this on my other CR-10. It lasts like forever. It sticks so good when it's hot, and as soon as the bed cools down, your prints just pop off. At least for PLA. Okay. But before we do that, let's just clean the bed with some isopropanol. So everybody who has, well, just joined, hello, and there's going to be something to eat later when we do the test print, which I hope will be quite soon. I have modded my Prusa, temporarily modded my Prusa, that it can be used as a sous vide cooker. Last stream we made some really nice pulled pork sandwiches. This week there is something different. So what I use is the spray. I don't use the spray if the glass is on the bed. Take the glass somewhere else, put it on the floor, put some newspaper below it, and then just spray it a little with that. Okay, so now we have a nice thin coat of the spray on our heat bed, and this will hopefully prevent the parts from getting loose. All right, so let's remove this. I don't know if all stepper motors are running in the right direction. I haven't turned the printer on, but this is something we will do right now because we are done with the assembly process. Okay. So there is a little USB to micro SD adapter also delivered with the machine, with probably some sample prints on it, which I guess we'll use to print out a sample. So let's just slide that in. Always make sure that your machine is set to the right voltage. It says 230 volts on mine, so this is the right setting for Germany at least. So I think we are all set to get it running. Sorry, yeah, I already removed the foil from the display. I should have said that before. It's something which is so satisfying. All right, so I'll be back. Wait, let's get some electricity. Okay. Yeah, let's turn it on and see if it works. Okay. It looks good. Okay. Yeah, let's just clean up the table a little. Something we also need to do before we start is do a bed leveling. Let's see, let's maybe change the camera. Okay. So this is working. Well, prepare, control, language, print from SD. So what we want to do at first is maybe do a homing cycle just to see what happens and if all the axes go into the right direction. So I choose auto home. X is working. Y is working. And the Z axis also seems to be working. So this is quite nice. All right. Let's see. Oh, maybe I shouldn't go that close to the microphone. Bad auto leveling. I guess even though it says auto leveling, I think it's just a leveling wizard, but let's try that out. Okay. So what the leveling wizard does is it will go from corner to corner to corner to corner, and you just use a piece of paper to slide under the nozzle and level the bed this way. So let's take one of these, put it under the nozzle, and you just wait until it grabs. And now it just grabs. I say next step. It goes to the next corner. And you are doing the same thing again. Thank you, Zach. It's really nice for the promotion. Yeah, I'm quite happy that I don't. How many are we at the moment? Let's check the stats. 150 people. So I'm really happy that you guys use your weekends and you're spending it with me right here. I highly appreciate that. So ideally, you would actually do this this leveling procedure with a hot nozzle and a hot bed, but I think for the first print, this is gonna be fine. Okay. And probably do this. And probably do this twice all around the print bed, because prepare. Come on. Because changing one of the other corners will also have an influence on the ones which you have already done. So doing it twice is the best thing. Okay, so this is now a little too close. Okay, this is fine. Let's go to the next corner. Also too close. Okay, this is good. Okay. This is also good. The last one. Okay, fine. Nice. It will go to the center now, but I don't really care about the center. It's fine. And there is no way to directly adjust the nozzle height in the center. So yeah, I guess this is fine. Yeah, taking a look at the, oh yeah. So the tension of the belts, that is also one thing you should really take a look at. But this is fine. The y-axis is also fine. So I'll just go with that for the moment. Yeah. Let's just rise the z-axis a little, that we can feed some filament. I have already seen bad things, because when I was lifting the z-axis, it did quite some weird things back there. Okay, I guess first problem already encountered. Alright, so yeah, what we will probably do is the following. So I guess, so the problem is, now we have two lead screws for the z-axis, one on the left and one on the right, but in the initial position, they need to be straight, and this cannot be guaranteed out of the box. So what I will be doing is I'll use some calipers to make sure that the distance right here to the base is the same, and also on this side to the base is the same. Okay, also something else which I encountered with my normal CR-10, the nuts on the z-axis, they are not properly fixed. So yeah, check this. Yeah, so, but in order to do that, we need to turn the machine off, because otherwise I am not able to rotate the steppers. Let's just do it this way. So, it's pretty much straightforward. So I put this on here, just my normal calipers, check the height, and okay, this was the wrong direction. So I put this on there, don't lock everything in place. Third time. Okay. Okay, this is, come on. Did I miss something? Okay. And now I'll do exactly the same on the other side. And I already see that there is a height difference of like 2 millimeters. So I now just manually move the z-axis upwards, which is not working. Oh, come on. Okay, so this is basically the same problem I also had on my other CR-10. And that really bothers me, because so the thing is now that I cannot level this properly at the moment, because it will just go down on the other side by itself. What I will be trying now is open the eccentric nut on one side, if I find my tools. Where did I put my tools? So the Prusa method is not working on every printer. The Prusa printer, they have a specific end stop, but the CR10, I don't know where it would crash into, so I think it's not a good idea to just do it on this one. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, let's open this eccentric nut right here. Come on. Okay. Okay, so I loosened this a little. Let's just make sure that right here we are on the same height again. So this is... Okay, this is fine. Let's see if we're also able to do that right here. Nope, not working. Okay, this really is bad. Because if we don't do that, the problem is that the print head will always be a little crooked, and one side of the nozzle will always drag over the print bed, and that's just not good. So yeah, I need to, let's see, open some nuts and see if we can straighten everything out. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Well, lowering the other side would also not help, because then we would have the same issue. Yeah, but I think that's fine now. So yeah. So I just opened the nuts on this side, the T-nuts, and this allowed me to rotate this a little. This is also tight, and we should be on the same height now. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's way better than before. Okay. But this means that we will need to do another run of bed leveling. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Okay, first corner level. Second one. Second one is also level. Yeah, bed leveling is something you should really do thoroughly, because otherwise you will get into quite some trouble. Okay, third corner also level. Okay, and the fourth one is also fine. Okay, I think so. The next step will be to just load some filament and see if that works. Again, I'll be moving the Z-axis up a little. Yeah, I think now it was better. Okay, and we will preheat the printer for PLA. So this will start heating up the nozzle and also heating the print bed. Let's see how long that takes. So, what is also nice to see is that the nozzle is dirty, or there is filament on the nozzle. So it seems that they are doing some kind of quality control on their parts. I don't know how much, but it seems as if there was already some filament which was run through the hot end. Okay, let's get some filament. I just don't want to use the one which is delivered with the machine. Let's use the one I like the most. I also have already added the filament runout sensor. And let's just slide some material through here and feed it. Okay. Right. So the filament I use, this is one of the filaments which has the nicest colors I have ever had. It's from more or less E3D. It's Spoolworks PLA filament, good quality, which and great color. So we are at 185 degrees. So let's see. Wait. Yep. So I don't really. Let's see. Let's increase the temperature even a little bit more. Control temperature. Let's put this to 205 degrees. So I'm a huge fan of also printing PLA at temperatures above 200 degrees, just for the reason that the layer adhesion is way better, as if you would print it at, well, just 185 degrees Celsius. I think, well, it hasn't started yet to heat up the bed. It still says like 18, 90 degrees, but we'll wait for that. Okay, so we are at 200 degrees for the nozzle. Let's just extrude some filament. There we go. So it is purging some black material, which was used for quality control purposes, I guess. And in a bit we should start to see the red filament coming out of the nozzle. Yeah, 215 degrees. So yeah, 215 degrees is quite a good temperature for most PLA filaments. I rarely had one brand of filament which, or a PLA filament which did not go to that temperature. So I actually made a video about how your material strength increases if you increase the print temperature. So if you are interested in that, just check it out in my on my account. Okay, so we have red filament right here. I guess we'll just print one of the sample prints. Let's take a look at the SD card. And it just has the cat model on it. But I think that's gonna be something good for just a first print of a Chinese printer. So I'll select the CAD model. We have leveled the bed. We have added some material to the printer. We have, yeah, I think we have tightened everything. So just let's give it a try and see if it works out. The interesting thing is that when we selected the mode for preheating for PLA, it only got to 185 degrees, but now with their delivered model, they are going all the way up to 205 degrees, but just 40 degrees on the bed, which seems to be a little low. I'm actually a mechanical engineer, and I do 3D printing also for my professional work life. Jay, thank you for well, being here. Thank you for the moderation, and have a great afternoon, night, whatever. See ya. Okay, we are, so the nozzle already reached the temperature. Now we are heating the bed. And we should almost be ready for the first sample print. And then we can start with this. Let's see. Okay. I'll just move everything a little to the side so that we have more space for the other stuff. Okay, 39, we are almost at 40. I'm quite interested to see if we can get our prints to stick at 40 degrees on the bed. I think we might need to increase that temperature to at least like 50 degrees Celsius. Okay, so we are homing. Ignore my Chen. I've actually been taking a look at the Bowden tube. It's quite surely a 1.8 millimeter, another 2 millimeter one. One of the upgrades I think I might be doing on this printer is to use one of the Capricorn. So the real precise inner diameter Bowden tubes to just decrease the slack a little. It's not a Banshee, so we are printing one of the sample models which were on the SD card, and this is the typical Chinese cat. Guys, please stick to English. Yeah, I'll be zooming in a little. Give me a second. I'll be with you. It's a Japanese cat. I'm sorry. Just give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. It's printing and it looks quite nice. So at the moment it's printing the raft which goes under the cat. I don't know how long it will take in the end, but yeah, let's see. Let's see how the first layers look like, and then we might be continuing with some food stuff. There is a reason why this channel is called CNC Kitchen. If you guys have any questions on the printer, just yeah, put it into the comments, and I'll try to answer them as good as possible. MKWRA, or however you are pronounced. Well, they wanted to send me a TiVo printer, but I rejected due to the things that happened with TiVo. So at the moment I don't have a plan for any TiVo printer live streams or working on TiVos. Yeah, rafts. So I'm somebody who has printed a lot during the last years, but I have rarely been using any rafts. With the print surfaces we have at the moment, I think it's just not necessary anymore, and there are only really special occasions where you would need a raft. So let's go through the comments. Does the CR-10S have an improved nozzle? I am quite sure that it's exactly the same nozzle and exactly the same heat block and it's exactly the same heatsink as the normal CR-10, so I think there's no change. Dennis, do you have any coupon codes for GearBest? Yeah, there is a coupon code for the CR-10S down in the description if you want to buy something. Mr. Jelly, I have never tried the clip of firmware. I have read something about it just I think at the beginning of this week, but I haven't tried it out so far. There is, I don't know if it's worth it. MKWR, why is this better than a CR-10? So it is better in a way that it has a dual C-axis, so you don't run into the problem that your Z-axis might be crooked. Then the heat bed is isolated, so it should not take such a long amount of time to heat up. Then we have the filament runout sensor, which is, in my opinion, a really nice feature for such a big volume printer. Is there a turbo button? There is no turbo button, but you can scale the print speed. We maybe do that later. Peter, so which thank you, that guy. Wait a second. Thank you for the $5. Which slicer do I prefer? So I print most of my models on my Prusa, and for the Prusa I mostly use just slicer, and that's working very well and is especially useful for the Prusa. We have an Ultimaker at work, so there I have to use Cura, but for most of the really for the stuff where I need to do lots of customizing, I need to, I'm usually using Simplify 3D, and also for models who need a lot of support structure. Ignore my Chen, does it run the latest firmware? I don't know if it runs the latest firmware. I don't know if there are firmware updates available for the CR10. I probably need to check that out. I think it's a different it's a different firmware than the normal CR10. What happened to TiVo? So yeah, TiVo was bribing Tom Sanladerer quite some months ago. Love TiVo. Okay, sorry, I'm lagging a little behind. Okay, I'm really curious about Child Clipper. Hey Mike, yeah, thank you for joining. We are almost done. Well, we are not almost done, to be honest, because there's still something. There's still something in here, and since I think the sprint will still take some time, there might be some time to get something to eat, and I'm getting hungry. I was just taking a look at the print, and it's, I don't know, it seems to be lifting off the raft a little. I don't know. I think I'll be increasing the extrusion multiplier a little. I hope that it doesn't get loose. Oh, I lag so much behind. Okie dokie. I don't know if I will post a review of the printer, because there are already plenty of reviews around. But I have some projects planned for the printer. For example, printing an RC airplane. I don't know if that if I have the time to do that, but there's some stuff coming out. But I don't know. I don't think that I'll do a specific review on it. Okay, please be kind in chat. And if you aren't kind in chat, I will need to ban you. And this goes specifically out to MKW or Ra, or however you are called. Maybe let's talk about noise a little. So it's definitely not a quiet printer. There is some noise, that's especially from the electronics box, but I have a little the feeling that it's a little quieter than the other one, but still not as quiet as, for example, the Prusa. Yeah, the linear axis thing. So this is something where I'm really interested in. I don't know, maybe for the other CR10 that I have, where I have also installed the Titan Aero extruder, I might be adding a linear rail just to see if that improves the printing quality, because the rollers are, well, not the best. Frank, thank you. Thank you very much for the 10 bucks. It's highly appreciated. Thank you. Peter, do I prefer the Prusa over the CR-10S? Yes, I think I do, but the applications are different. In my opinion, the CR-10 is something for printing bigger parts, and the Prusa is just a highly reliable machine which works great, where you have support, where you support a company which works on 3D printing, works on improving 3D printing. So if it's not hard for you, or if it's not a problem for you spending some bucks more and you don't need to have the big print volume, definitely go for the Prusa. I gotta be honest there. Have I worked with filament runout sensors? No, I haven't worked with any filament runout sensors before, and this is something I'm really interested in, and which is, in my opinion, well suited for such a printer. Because if you are doing big models, you run this printer overnight, and if your spool of filament runs out, the whole print is bad, and this might prevent it. So this is a great improvement. Okie dokie. Yeah, I have some stepper dampers right here, and I haven't used them so far. I really need to take a look at these ones and see if they are working well, and if there might be the problem that they even well, decrease the printing quality in well, somehow. Where are we? Well, so Photo Chromax, yeah, there's the weight of the linear rail, but especially it has way less play and is just better suited for such an application. Mr. Jelly, so are you saying that you have problems with your parts sticking on the bed if you directly print on a mirror? Always make sure that it's well cleaned. And as I have shown before, what I really like to use is, can you see it? Is this adhesion spray. Sorry. Adhesion spray. There are other adhesion sprays around, and they work very well when printing PLA on a glass bed. Sometimes it even works too good, and it's hard to even get your prints off the bed. CR10 versus ANET A8. I don't have an ANET or ANET A8, so I can't really do a comparison on those. Will the CR10 work with Octoprint? Yeah, it will definitely work with Octoprint. So it's just plug and play. Take a Raspberry Pi, put the Octopi on the SD card, connect Octoprint via USB to your control box, and you are all set. I use Octoprint on my Prusa, and it's great. It's really great. Benny, where am I buying my filament? So at the moment I don't have to buy filament anymore because I get lots of filament provided. But before I did YouTube and before I got filament sponsored, I really liked, for example, Das Filament. They have reasonably priced filament. There are plenty of other providers around. Polymaker just started a new series of polylight filaments. There is a review of these coming tomorrow. This is great stuff for not too much money. Is it possible to install trinamic drivers on the CR-10 board? No, it's not, because the drivers are directly soldered on the board, so this is not working. But there are mods around where you add a ramps to the CR-10, and with the ramps board you can use the silent step sticks. Can you send G-code files to your printer from your PC using Octoprint? Yes, and this is one of the great things about Octoprint. If you are using a Slicer, for example, there's directly a button that you can send your G-code to via or using Wi-Fi to your printer. Works great, and there are other solutions to do that as well. So everybody who hasn't checked out Octoprint so far, take a look at it. It's really worth it. Dennis, yeah, it always depends where you're from. There are a couple of manufacturers around who do proper filament. I wouldn't recommend buying PLA filament, which is like 10 bucks a kilo. But if you are spending 15, 20 bucks or even a little bit more, you get reasonable, very good PLA filament. So as I said, depending on where you live, Polymaker, their Polylight PLA is great. You have E3D with their Spoolworks filament series. There is Dutch Filaments, sorry, not Dutch Filaments, Form Futura. They're also selling quite reasonably priced PLA filament with great quality and stuff like that. Florian, yeah, I have the fear that you are right, and this is 100% infill, because this is already, I don't know which layer, but it's still doing infill. And I will wait for 2 more layers, and if the printer doesn't stop printing infill, we will slice something on our own. Nerys, yeah, I think about doing that. I think that I might be maybe doing something like a tutorial video on where we design a fan shroud for a printer, that everybody might be able to do that later on their own. Well, at the moment it's doing infill. Let's see. Did I use some food safe filament yet? So there is always a discussion about food safe filament. So there are food safe filaments around, but the problem with 3D printing and being food safe is that your filament will run through your feeder, through your hot end and stuff like that, and can pick up things in there which might make it not food safe anymore. And then there's the problem that in the small cracks or in the small layers of your prints, if it's wet, bacteria really like to grow there. So also for one-time use, you can probably 3D print food safe stuff, but I wouldn't 3D print any dishes or stuff like that. As I said, I will be waiting for maybe one layer more, and if that doesn't work out, we will print something on our own, because only printing infill is not the nicest thing to take a look at. Let's see. But it's still continuing. Okay, so maybe while this is printing, why don't we just go into Simplify 3D and slice a model on our own? Because yeah, we want to see something being printed. Any suggestions on what we shall print? Just a Banshee, or any other ideas? But I think, well, that's gone Thingiverse. I think we'll go for the Banshee. Where is the original one? There we go. Okay. .3D Banshee, save file. We are still printing infill. Yeah, the Death Trooper, it's nice, but it just might take too long. Okay, let's load the 3D Banshee. I will use the configuration assistant to create a new profile. So Creality CR-10. Next, finish. So there we go. Center and arrange. Okay, let's take a look at the settings. Extrusion multiplier, I'll put that to 1. 0.2 millimeter layer height, 3 solid layers, 2 shells. Temperature 60-degree bed, that's fine. 210 degrees for 210 degrees for the nozzle, that's also fine. Speed 40 millimeters a second, that's for gram mass, so we'll go to 60. And yeah, I think we are all set. Let's prepare the print. The G-code. Yeah, photochromex, that's also a thing which I'm not a huge fan of, so checking tolerances. These printers should all be reasonably precise, and usually the difference of a part which is too big or is too little is the extrusion multiplier. And so yeah, as I said, I'm just not a fan of printing calibration cubes. Does it really start printing the walls? You could be right. I think it got scared with me slicing a model. Let's see. Yeah, it's a hollow model. Why are they... Ah, okay, yeah. Well, I think we will print something on our own, because looking at this cat is not the greatest thing. Okay. Yeah, as I said, I'll be stopping the print at this point, and we will be printing a Banshee. Mike, I think the model is actually hollow, so it's printing like 100% thick walls, but the STL file itself was already hollow. Okay, so yeah, I stopped the print. I'll just grab the SD card and probably will be a crypto miner in a second, as soon as I plug this into my PC. And we will save the 3D Banshee to the printer. Okay, let's take it out again. Plug it in. I'll remove the existing print. Camera, yeah. There we go. And print from SD. 3D Banshee G codes. Okay. So this is the base of the cat. I think we would not really have had much fun with it. So yeah, let's just put this away. Ignore my channel. Actually, so YouTube tells me that the stream health is fine. It shouldn't be me who's stuttering. Sorry. Maybe my voice is stuttering, but this is not due to connection, because this time I'm not streaming over Wi-Fi. I am plugged in via a network cable. Okay, so we are heating up again. The bed is at 49 degrees Celsius and the nozzle is at 200. Okay. Let's see, we should be there in a bit, but yeah, so the heat up time is not way faster than before with the insulation of the bed, but it seems that it is better than it was before. see. And to be honest, I'm getting hungry a little, so we need to see how the food is. But yeah, we'll wait for a second more, and then I'll continue with the food. Antonio, so these gray panels right here, these are pavers, so concrete pavers, and they more or less insulate the vibrations of the printer from the table, and it makes the printers so quiet. I also made a video about this some time ago, but if you have problems with a loud printer, go into your hardware store, buy one of these concrete pavers, and you will be so happy. Aaron, yeah, there is some food cooking there, and we will, or I will reveal that in just a second, when the printer is going again. But yeah, so it's homing. Let's change the camera angle again. So it's homing. Quite awesome. What time is it for me? So for me it's 7 p.m. at the moment. So I am getting hungry. Okay. This looks good. Yeah, unfortunately, so now we are printing a Banshee. Unfortunately, there is some gunk at the nozzle, which I might be trying to remove. Nah, well, don't bother. Okay, maybe let's clean up a little, that we have enough space for the food. Wait, yeah, so as I said, there was some gunk at the nozzle. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, but only the bottom layers might look a bit bad. The bed is actually level. As I said, there was some filament left over, which is remaining now at the front of the Banshee, but this will be gone in like 2 or 3 layers. Ugh. Okie dokie. No, I have unfortunately not leveled the printer when it was hot, but you should usually do that. Verine. So yeah, this is the problem with these Bowden systems. They are so compliant, and the material is more or less a spring which is in the Bowden tube. And when you stop a print and you do not retract any filament, this material, which is like a spring in the Bowden tube, will just be pushed into the hot end, and you will get lots of drooping. But looks fine. Dennis, no, I don't have the ruby nozzle. I was thinking about buying one, but yeah, I didn't invest the, what is it, like $100 yet, or I think 85. Yeah, Ross, you are totally right. And actually, the stop script, which is in the Marlin firmware in here, is horrible because sometimes it even does not turn off the bed and the nozzle, so everything stays warm. Banshee looks really nice. Okay, I will be back in a second. I'll just wash my hands and then we will do the Prusa sous vide cooking. Or revealing the Prusa sous vide cooking. I am back. Did I miss anything? Dinner time, yes. Should you buy the ruby nozzle? Well, I don't know. I don't think that the prints will be way better with the ruby nozzle. If you are only printing with really abrasive materials, it might be a good thing looking into such a nozzle, but also the hardened steel ones are quite fine. So in my opinion, if you're only printing normal PLA, it's not worth. Okay, here we are. So, let's see how I can adjust that now. Some salt, some pepper. A baking tray. The original CNC Kitchen T-bone cutting board. And yeah. So just to clarify, I'm very sorry for all the vegetarians right now, but I am hungry, and the Prusa is cooking some really nice food there. Please don't hit the thumbs up button, thumbs down button if you don't like eating meat. But for everybody else, we will get something to eat. Or at least I will be getting something to eat. Maybe, let's see, that you can also see what I'm doing. So what I have right here is I have a pot of water on the heat bed. I have broken out a temperature sensor, which is connected instead of the bed sensor of the printer. And this is regulating the temperature of the water right here in the bath. And in this bath, we have a steak which is vacuum sealed with some herbs. We will get that out of its bag, sear it, and then have something to eat. Yeah, as I said, don't hate me for that, but I am hungry. I have already been streaming for 2 hours, so please also give me a rest. If there are some of you around who also would like to know how the Prusa sous vide mod works, yeah, let me know. I might be posting a video about that. And also maybe hit the like button if you are really envy right now. Okay. Okay, so this is our steak. So the temperature of the water bath was selected that I now have a totally medium rare steak. And this is the nice thing about sous vide cooking, that you can't overcook your food. And that doesn't only work with meat, you can also do like sweet dishes with it. You can do really nice vegetable things with it. The only thing with sous vide cooking is that the food is totally mushy when it comes out of the sous vide bath. So we have to sear it up. Yeah, searing the food means that you either put it on your grill, or in a hot pan. Since I don't have that in my office, I'll just be using a burner. There is a reason why this channel is called CNC Kitchen. Because you can use CNCs to cook your food. Okay. Okay. I could laser engrave a steak. Yeah, you are right. Yeah, sorry again for all the vegetarians. Just look away for a second. But I am having something sorry for that. Yeah, I guess since this is printing now, I'll have something to eat. If you guys have any questions, please post them in the comments. If you guys also like really good food, give the video a thumbs up. Okay, I am still alive. I am still alive. Yeah, just stop by and if I'm not finished yet with the steak, you can have some. Cheers. That is some really good beer. Yeah, beer and and food. So the bench, he does look okay at the moment. I see some retraction artifacts. Yeah, we'll see how it turns out in the end, but up to now, it's working okay. So are there any more questions you're having? Viewers dropped down to 150. I don't know if these were the vegetarians. Sorry for that. I don't know, how do we stand with likes on the video? I don't see this at the moment. Did you? Oh, they were hungry, yeah. Printer's doing fine. Four dislikes. Mr. Jelly, yeah, nice to hear. I'm happy that your CR-10 is working. Yeah, Mahlzeit. So there are probably some modifications I'm gonna be doing to the CR-10, and I don't know, maybe I'll be adding another hot end, but I'm not sure if this is really necessary. I might be adding some tighteners or tensioners for the X and Y axis belts, that I can make sure that they're always properly tied. I will be trying out the filament runout sensor, if that works properly. The heat bed seems to be okay. Yeah, the only thing, or one of the things which is left is upgrading the firmware, because I wanna run the normal Marlin on there, because it has some really nice features like linear advance and stuff like that, which is really good for fast printing. Yeah, smash the like button. Now, it really helps me out, because YouTube is especially promoting videos that get lots of interaction. So comments are great. If you guys hit the like button or even the dislike button, YouTube knows that there is something going on in this video which might be interesting for guys, even if it's positive or negative, and they're promoting these videos. And I still have like 80% of the views I get on my videos are from people who are not subscribed, and if they see that I am regularly delivering content, they might subscribe to me, and this is just opening me a even wider audience, which is great. Thank you, Mr. Jabu. I'm still working on my food. How do you think 3D printers will be in 10 years? This is kind of a tough question, because one thing which happened during the last years is that 3D printing got less expensive and therefore easier, well, wider spread and easier available. Currently what you're seeing is that there's more and more intelligence put into the printers, like filament runout, auto leveling and stuff like that. Where will it be in the future? I hope that it gets even, well, wider spread. I hope that the applications will get wider, so that it's not only used to print a bunch of bench sheets, but that it is really used to print spare parts for things which break at home. I don't know if this is like decentralized, so everybody has a 3D printer at home, or if there are really well-established 3D printing services out there where you can order cheap and easily available spare parts. This is something I'm really hoping. Well, 3D printing is still something which not everybody is willing to do, and I highly understand that. Well, me as an engineer, I really like tinkering. I really like working with such a machine. I really like that I now have finally the opportunity to directly print out my CAD designs, which before just wasn't able if you did not have a CNC and CNC skills and stuff like that. But today it's great what you can achieve with 3D printing, and more and more materials come on the market which have better properties than the ones which we well used to use, and with better materials also the usability for 3D prints will get bigger, so you will have the possibility to print proper spare parts, to print parts which can handle temperature, which are impact resistant and stuff like that. And yeah, this is great. Well, Markforged printers are pretty awesome and super strong. They are, yes and no. With their continuous fiber printer, you can do some really nice stuff, but they are only stiff in the direction where the continuous fibers lie, and if you do not design your parts in a way that you can really use this advantage, your parts also won't be that strong. And these printers are horribly expensive. I think a kilo of continuous carbon fiber is like $1,000, so this is something not everybody well wants to invest in. Bye, Photochromax. Nice having you here. See you again next time. It was really interesting. So I wasn't at CES, but what you heard was that there were way less well, people showing their 3D printing stuff on at CES, which shows that the market kind of got cleaned a little bit from the cheap companies who were not sustainable and, well, which did not really work. And now there are still out there the companies who have a good product, who marketed their product the proper way, and are able to provide proper printer for the future. Yeah, the Airo 3D printer is really interesting. So I have seen I have seen the video that Joel made, and I have been at Formnext, at TCT Formnext last year, seeing like Markforged. They do not now have a metal printer, desktop metal. They have something, but I don't know, with the sintering process and debindering process, it's quite complex, and you did not really see that many parts. But the Airo 3D process looks really inexpensive. The machine is totally cheap. The materials they are using are cheap, and I really hope that they are able to produce a proper machine, that they're able to tune in the printing settings, that you get nice parts out of it. And I think this might be really a step forward into inexpensive 3D printing, metal 3D printing. Nicholas, so yeah, the Prusa is already it's already empty. So we made some sous vide steak with it, but I'm already eating it, so sorry you're too late. But you can scroll back a little, just like maybe 15 to 20 minutes. There you can see what we made. Penny, what do I think of RC Live on? Well, he's able to promote products quite well, and I'm not saying more. Roter Fruchtzwerg, any experience with tungsten carbide nozzles? No, actually not, but I have a normal tungsten nozzle from a Kickstarter like 2 years ago. It was made by DDD material. It was working okay, but the quality was just not spot on, and I think they're not selling it anymore. I think taking a look at tungsten carbide, the problem might be that the thermal conductivity of the material is not high enough to get proper prints in the end. Even though it's wear resistant, it might not be suitable for such a 3D printer. If you are working with abrasive filaments, take a look at the hardened steel nozzles. They're very good. Just don't buy the stainless steel ones. They're crap. Know anything about the Formlabs Fuse 1? So I was hoping to see some really nice parts from the Fuse 1 last year at Formnext, but unfortunately they did not have a working printer there. There were two other companies. One is called Sinterit and the other one is called I don't know, who were also selling SLA machines at a reasonably low price, like starting from $5,000. And SLA is great. SLA is great. It can produce parts which have really good properties. You do not need to you do not need to worry about support structure and stuff like that. But the problem is that even though in theory the process is very simple, it becomes quite complex in the end, because you have to heat your build chamber, the whole build volume, to a really constant temperature and stuff like that. So yeah, I have seen some parts, I have been touching some parts, but they were not yet as good as the machines or the parts you get from an EOS machine, for example, which are like 100 or 200,000 euros. Ashik, is your glass plate being scratched by the nozzle or when you remove it? If it's scratched by the nozzle, re-level your bed. Your nozzle is too close to the mirror or to the glass plate. If you scratch it with your spatula, round off the corners of your spatula. Maybe use something different, but I wouldn't be too worried about scratches in the plate. It might actually even increase the adhesion on the bed. Mr. Jelly, what is the problem with stainless steel nozzles? The problem with stainless steel nozzles is that at first the thermal conductivity of, well, stainless steel is really bad, so you do not get all of the heat from the heater block directly into the nozzle. They are not as wear resistant as hardened nozzles, so yeah, there is no really benefit in using these. Use hardened steel ones or just the normal brass ones. Dan, your prints are always lifting from the print bed. So yeah, 50 degrees is not enough. I would recommend, if you have problems, to go up to 60. Don't go way higher than that. And if you're still having problems, glue stick, or you can also get adhesion spray or adhesion sticks, for example from a Printer Pro, or I have another one right here which is called C-Stick, which is also just like something solved in acetone, which leaves like a sticky layer behind. But what you also can always get is like a print tag foil on your print bed if you have really serious problems. But clean your bed properly with isopropanol. If that's still not working, adhesion sprays or an adhesion foil. Yeah, Hugo is also right. The first layer is very important. If your first layer doesn't stick to the print bed, it will get ripped loose. So thick first layer to compensate for a not perfectly level bed. Even a little bit of over extrusion in the first layer, so increase your extrusion width on the first layer. This will help you with your part sticking to the bed. (3D Drucktipps, where are you? What else do we have? Yeah, hairspray is also something you can use. Okay, so yeah, if the thermal conductivity of tungsten carbide is really that high, it might be a good thing. I have seen that you can buy tungsten carbide nozzles on Alibaba or on eBay, but I have never used any of them before. I'm still very happy with my original E3D nozzles. So yeah, only use hairspray if you have a removable bed. If you don't have a removable bed, please don't use hairspray, because this will get on your linear rails and everywhere else, which just makes everything worse. If you have that problem, try using a print foil, try using like sticks. You can just more or less yeah, put on your bed. and take a look at your first layer. DMC3D, hello everyone. You are quite late, we are almost finished. I have almost eaten all of my steak. The Banshee is growing and growing. It looks pretty good. As I said, there are some extrusion artifacts on the surface, but yeah, it looks fine. MarvTech, in which city am I living? So I live in southern Germany, somewhere between Lindau and Munich, if that tells you something. Totally in the countryside. Still 150 people right here. Thank you very much for spending all of your time with me. Hill CT, why didn't you say that you will be assembling a CR-10? Ashik, what tools and paints are you using for giving better appeal to 3D printed parts? So if you print with ABS, you can always vapor smooth. If you don't want to print with ABS, there is the Polysmooth material from Polymaker, which you can smooth with isopropanol. Just use a thick filler on your 3D printed parts to get rid of the layer lines, sand it a little bit and then paint it, and you can get the look just like as an injection molded part. Yeah. Dan, the 100% FR means 100. I think it means 100% feed rate. So this is the. I think this should be the extrusion multiplier. So if you see that you have under extrusion, you can increase this a little. But I also might be wrong. It might also be the speed at which it's printing. So how much have we already done? So we are at 55% of the Banshee, still looking very good. It's in fact the speed multiplier. Okay, thanks for the info. We can give that a try. I'll just turn that up too. Yeah, so now I have increased it to like 166% and it's way faster. But I will put it back to 100%. Ajik is asking if this channel is my full-time job or if it's just my hobby. So yeah, it's definitely my hobby. It doesn't pay. It doesn't nearly pay the bills. So in my normal life, I am a 100% working mechanical engineer, and this is more or less my hobby, which I do at the weekends or at night. Maybe let's change the camera a little, that it's not so boring for you. Hey guys. Yeah, filament extruding is also something quite interesting. I don't think that it's really reasonable for any hobbyists to extrude their own filament because it's just too expensive. I don't know if there might be an extruder somewhere in the future where you can just pour pellets in. Aaron, what is SOUS? So SOUS is a, I think, Bavarian introduction to say hello, which comes from the Latin word servus, which means slave. I don't know. It's just something you say, but about filament extruding, also when I was at Formnext, I have seen a really interesting company. I think it is it's a Dutch company called 3D Evo, and they had a Kickstarter a while ago, and they are producing small filament extruders and filament recycling machines, which could be used to create your own filament, but you can buy quite a lot of filament rolls for the price of one of these machines. But I think for universities it's really interesting because they can create their own material blends, their own polymer blends for research on such a small machine. That's really nice. Dan, yeah, I did some tutorials on Fusion 360. You can also find them in my video list. There will be more in the future. There is probably one coming up quite soon. Hey Benjamin. Why do you say Simplify 3D is not developed anymore? Is it dead? No, it's not dead. I don't know, development process at the moment is just very slow. There has been version 4 released at the end of last year, but it's just, there's not much coming, and that's really unfortunate. Are you planning on reviewing the SOUS 3D? I don't have a SOUS 3D, so I don't know if I will be doing a review on that printer. And to be honest, there are plenty of guys around or other channels around who do printer reviews, and I don't want to be one of the channels who's only doing printer reviews to, well, get sales with their affiliate links and make money with that. That's not the purpose why I'm doing YouTube. Benjamin, cut power. There is no cut power function with the CR-10S. There is a filament runout function, which we actually could actually try. Maybe. So I'm back. I think it would be quite boring to just wait until this thing is finished. So there is a new feature, the filament runout sensor on that machine, and I think it would be nice to just try out and see if it works. Because this is one of the new features, and why not try it out? If this ruins our print, well, the stream is over, but yeah, I think we could deal with that. So what I will be doing, the filament sensor is right here. I don't know if you have to configure it to work, but I'll just snip off the filament and we'll see if the printer will stop and if we can continue with the print. So yeah, cross your fingers. Oops. Okay, so I think it tripped the sensor, but well, let's see. So there is no more filament going into the printer. Let's see if it stops. I hear something clicking. Ah, huh? So it stopped. And it tells me error, change filament. Okay. How do I do that? I don't know. Should this be a manual process? So I took the leftovers out. And let's just load the filament back into the printer and see if it continues, and see if we can change, if you can see where it paused. Another thing is, so what it did, it will actually turn off the bed and also turn off the extruder, which can be bad, because if you have something like I'm having right here on the print bed, this spray which helps the material sticking to the bed, it will lose its sticking properties as soon as it cools down. Well, let's see. Okay, so I added new filament. Let's see how I can continue. It says resume print. Okay. So I selected resume print. It says heating again, so it will heat up. will heat up the nozzle again to 210 degrees and the print bed to 60 degrees. But as I said, this can be bad. So it works, that it stops, but there is the possibility that you will lose your print due to, well, it just not sticking anymore to the bed. Power thread, any thoughts on Hobby King value brand filaments? So I have one roll of their filament right here, which I bought some time ago. It prints, but it's not the best. I was thinking about, so I'm currently doing this filament test series, another video also coming out tomorrow. I'm doing the test series, and I'm thinking about trying to test the cheapest filament out there. And at the moment, the cheapest filament I think I can get is the Hobby King one. If you guys know if there is even a cheaper brand of PLA out there I can get here in Germany, please let me know. I really would like to try the cheapest PLA filament there is and see how it prints, how the material properties are, and stuff like that. Okay, so there is some material oozing out. I just remove that. Okay, and now it resumes with the print. Why is it black? Yeah, now it continues. So what I did, I just added new filament, and now it, well, continues with the print. Did the Z-axis lock when I changed the filament? Yes, I think the steppers were still on, and it would be really bad if it wouldn't, because with the weight of the X-axis, the Z-axis will just drop down otherwise. So, yeah, hi Drucktips. Hello to Grünkraut. Did I ever do something with medical 3D printing? Yes and no. It's an interesting topic, but with all the regulations and stuff like that, it's hard to, at least here in Germany, and I also think in the US, it's hard to get into the medical sector with 3D printing, because there are so many regulations, there are so many things you need to do before you can apply 3D printing there. That there might be still some time to come until, yeah, until it's fully usable. But there is definitely the potential, and especially in, yeah, in third world countries where it's hard to get prosthetics and stuff like that, I think 3D printing might be a really good possibility to give people things back which otherwise they would not get. Hill CT, yes, I think the stringing is from the filament changing, and I think there's a slight step which you can see, but this might be okay if you think about if you would otherwise lose the complete print. Mega making. So you buy your $5 PLA filament at Taobao? I don't know what or who that is. So if you could provide a link or something like that, I would really be interested to find the cheapest 3D printing filament out there. Yeah, Ashik, I think this is a perfect application for 3D printing because, well, you don't do directly something on the patient, but you can help a doctor, well, before he cuts somebody open to, well, just help him find out how the patient looks from the inside. Florian, yeah, I think the minimum layer time is kicking in. I think it is set to 15 seconds. Let me see. Yeah, it's set to 15 seconds. Thanks, Mega Making. Well, we are already 74% finished. So, yeah, 15 more minutes, 20 maybe. People are already leaving. Yeah. Well, it's not the most entertaining thing to take a look at the Banshee, which is printed, but still, 143 people still here. It's crazy. And now I have lost chats. Wait, where are we? Greg, would you please do something on liquid extruders? I am actually thinking about getting a clay extruder because I want to do some 3D printed pottery. So yeah, maybe there will be something in the future. I don't know. Yeah, so I think before this thing is finished, and it will still take a little, but what are my thoughts on the printer? So it was easy to assemble. If you just assemble the printer, it takes you maybe half an hour. It comes nicely packed, to be honest. No parts were flying around. Nothing what I have seen so far is bent. But I also had a problem with the Z-axis not being parallel to the print bed, and this is something which is, well, just not okay. I need to fiddle around with the machine a little bit more after the stream and see what things I need to do to make it properly printing. but yeah, it's a decent printer. I think the upgrades are nice. The isolated bed is good. The filament runout sensors seem to be working. I am not unhappy with that it doesn't have a bed leveling sensor. I'm very honest and I say I prefer a manually leveled bed over a automatically leveled bed. It is a little loud, just as the normal CR-10. It has a big print volume, which I think not everybody needs. So if you're thinking about buying the CR-10, think about if you need such a big print volume, or maybe go for another printer. If you maybe have a little bit more money to spend, think about buying a Prusa. I really like their machines, even though I don't have a Mark III. Yeah. When will be the next live session? I don't know when the next live session will be. Sorry. Yeah, replacing the fans is one thing, but you really need to pay attention that the fans you are using to replace the existing ones do have the same, well, volume of air which is blown through them, because you can add quieter fans, but if they are not moving as much air as the stock ones, you will get heat problems. So really take a look at that. Edward, can the filament sensor detect jams too? No, it cannot. It's more or less only a micro switch, and well, it's only a micro switch, so it only recognizes if there is no more material. There's no more material left. Yeah, Noctua fans are really good, but as I said, really pay attention that the amount of air they are moving is big enough, because otherwise, as I said, your electronics can overheat. So EE transmit, you get lost steps when you are tightening your lead screw nuts. So the reason for that might be that also your Z-axis is not really parallel to the bed, and if the bore of the nut is not in line with the with the lead screw, it will jam. So there might be a reason why they did not tighten it perfectly, but just make sure that everything is straight, everything is perpendicular, and then you should not get any lost steps. My CR-10S is quite a lot quieter than yours. Well, I don't know if this is just because the microphone is not next to the printer, but it's not the quietest printer, to be honest. As I have said before, I think it's a little quieter than the normal CR-10 I'm having, but not a huge deal. Paul, yeah, or Paul, how do you know if your belts are tensioned good enough? This is quite hard, and I'm also not really sure how you can say, okay, this is tight enough and this is over tight. Just maybe use it like a guitar string, and if you have a nice low tone, it's okay. If it's really wobbly, tighten them a little bit more, but definitely do not over tighten them, because this will ruin the bearings in your stepper motor. Benjamin, are you sure that the CR-10 has a power resume function? I don't really want to test that at the moment. If there are more who say that the printer really has that function, I might be trying that in the end, but I don't know if I can trust you. Yeah, post the link. if it's not your cheap Chinese online shop. Thank you, Hugo, for the info. Yeah, I don't want to just shut the printer off. Yeah, if we will try the power resume function, I will be doing that right at the end of the print. We have already been spending like an hour here on the print, and it's almost time to finish the stream. So yeah, we'll do that in the end. Yeah, it's almost in the bridging part, so... Where is it? I think it already started with bridging. Yeah. Wait. Mach's einfach. Just send me... you can also send me an email. You can find the email address in the About section. I will be back in a second. I just maybe already put some stuff downstairs from the from the food experiment. Okay. So we are at the roof now. I'll leave it running for bridging looks very nice. I will leave the print running for another minute or so, and then we will see if there's really a power recovery function. And if not, I think then it's time to just conclude the stream. And if you guys are leaving already, please don't forget to hit the like button. It helps me a lot. It helps me a lot. So yeah. If you like what I'm doing, Ashik, good night to, I guess, India? Okay, so the roof is already printing. I don't know, either somebody tricked me into that, but somebody said that the printer might have or should have a power recovery function. The bench is almost finished. I think we can already judge the quality of the print from there. I will turn off the printer, wait for some seconds, turn it back on again, and I guess it won't be doing anything, but somebody said that it might be able to continue printing. Alright, so yeah, let's just give it a try. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. It's quiet, it's out. And let's see what it does when I turn it back on. Ooh, it really, ooh, haha. It is asking me resume print. Yes, I want to do that. It really worked. I thought you guys were tricking me. I really thought you guys were tricking me, but so the thing is, it stayed at that position. Maybe the Z-axis even moved, but it asked me to resume the print. Not bad, not bad. But it's not the same thing as Prusa as they're doing. So they're lifting the Z-axis. I think the CR-10 just recognized, okay, I did not finish my last print. He still remembers at which line it stopped and just continues from there. But we'll see. So yeah, the nozzle is just heating up. We are at 200 degrees. And I am quite impressed. I am really impressed. So we are at 203, 205, 206. Let's see if there are any layer shifts. Let's see if we can see that. So I stopped the print when it did a interesting. Okay, so it homes again, at least the x-axis and the y-axis. And now it continues. I am really impressed. I really did not expect that. It is continuing. There might be something to see. I guess the height is not perfect. But still, if you have a big print and something like that is happening, it might save you quite some trouble. So right in the back, you can see where something happened. But there is a blob on the surface. But yeah, it worked. I'm really impressed. Andreas, yeah, it's magic. It's magic. I'll be finished. I'll be finished in a bit. So don't eat the octopus before I get to you. So the print should be done in a second. Florian, thank you for the $5. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys for all of the support. Yeah, I really have to be honest. So this channel is now like, well, just a year old. I think I actually posted the first video just at the end of January last year, and it grew quite well. And the support I'm getting is just great. Is chat still working? Okay, so the chimney is already starting. Ah, seems so. Still here. Yeah, I've just seen a drop in viewers a second ago, and I thought maybe something was wrong, but yeah, it is almost done. So chimney is now being printed. We are now more or less at the lowest print speed, but just in a minute it will be done. hell. No, I would never drink a beer. Ashik, I thought you were going to sleep. You just cannot resist staying here and watching the end of the stream. Yeah, Karamal's kids beer. I need to stay focused, but I gotta be honest, I somehow noticed that talking English becomes easier when you drink like 1 or 2 beers. As soon as you start with the third, it becomes harder again. So yeah, you need to find the right amount. Yeah, Ashik, we will be done. We will be done quite soon. So the chimney is just at the end. I give it like 2 or 3 more minutes. Cat Blue. I have the CR10. Where can I get the CR-10S board? I don't know where you can get a CR-10S board, but I think AliExpress or even GearBest, they might be selling those as a replacement. But it might be a good idea to add a Rumbo with silent step sticks to the CR10, because then you even have a quieter print, better stepper drivers and stuff like that. I don't know. So I think the power out function might actually even only be a feature of Marlin. You need to check that out. Maybe you don't even need a new board for that. Tips on how to learn German. Yeah, try to speak it. Come to Germany. We are nice guys and girls. Yeah, just speak. So almost done. And for everybody who is just joining, so there are some artifacts on our Banshee, but we have tried 2 functions of the CR-10S. So at first we tried the filament runout sensor, which was right here, where we see this small artifact, and up here we have tried the power outage function. So I turned on the printer, I turned off the printer, and it resumed printing just at the same position, which is quite nice. Yeah, and I almost lost my hair earlier. This would have been an interesting stream if that would have happened. 3D printing, flex filaments, best settings. So there has been a nice video from Maker's Muse a while ago on printing flexible filaments. Printing flexible filaments with a Bowden setup is always hard. Print slow. Yeah, print slow. Florian, yeah, the board is upgraded, definitely. for example, the old one didn't feature the headers for the filament runout sensor, but I might be checking how they are doing the power outage function. Yay, and we are done. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I can find something out about that. All right. I guess let's take a look at the Banshee. Maybe change the camera a little. So I have said before that I use this a Printer Pro spray for adhesion, and this stuff is solid on there. Okay. So what do we see? So this is the Banshee. It looks quite nice. There are some ringing artifacts right here. There are some retraction artifacts on this side, but nothing too bad. We have one problem right here, but this was where we tried the filament runout sensor. I guess it's bearable. If you would otherwise lose the print, I would be totally fine with that. Up here, I don't know if you're able to see that. Let's see. So there is a small step right here. This is where we cut the power and it resumed, but also not too bad. Yeah, I think this is fine. This does look not too bad. No under extrusion, no over extrusion. I can't really complain, to be honest. It's nice. Yeah, I think just to conclude this video, the assembly was okay. There are some problems with the mechanics, but I guess there are forum entries and videos around where they help you to fix these. Filament runout sensor works. Power function works. It's a good printer. It's a good printer. If you need that print volume, you can definitely go for it. It's always hard to get, or sometimes hard to get these printers from China shipped here. There are also shops probably in your country where you can get the printer, so you don't have the hassle with customs and stuff like that. If you don't need the big build volume, try or think about maybe spending some bucks more and getting going for a Prusa. For quality wise, it's definitely a better one, but still, this is not a bad printer. Okay, so what spray did I use? I used from a Printer Pro. It's an Austrian company, Printer Fix, I think it's called. Adhesion spray, but there are also different things around. Yeah, I guess that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Please give the video a thumbs up. It helps me out a lot. It helps spreading the word. Take a look at my other videos. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your time. And I see you next time.